When you're unable to say the things that you want to say when you want to say them, you often feel what? You feel how? You feel trapped. You feel limited. You may feel frustrated. We've been talking about 5 deadly stuttering mindsets that literally hold people captive like mental prisoners. You feel like you're a prisoner in your own head. You have things that you want to say in a particular situation, but you can't get it out. So you feel like you're a prisoner. And what this does is this limits you, this decreases your quality of life. It limits your potential to a degree. Now, I've worked with some very, very successful people, some very wealthy people, but they realized that as successful as they are, they have still been limited because of this stuttering mindset, because of their speech. So we've been working through a series entitled The 5 Deadly Stuttering Mindsets. And what I've been doing is pointing out to you, is sharing with you these mindsets that are holding you captive, keeping you from saying the things that you want to say when you want to say them the way that you want to say them. And the effect that that has on your life, and guess what? On the lives of people around you who are not hearing what you have to say, who are not experiencing your brilliance and your genius. So 5 deadly stuttering mindsets. Let's just do a very, very fast review. The first one that we talked about, I want you to go back and watch the videos if you haven't, or listen to the audio, is a rigid and flexible thinking. This is where people say, I can't, I have to, I always, no, I can't do that. It's rigid and flexible thinking. The image I want you to get in your mind is someone trying to run their head into a brick wall, expecting that wall to change. Well, what we want you to have is more of a confident speaker's mindset, which is much more flexible and fluent. Think about a river. Think about a river. So, first deadly stuttering mindset. All right. The second one is identifying yourself as a stutterer. That is, you believe. In fact, I was just talking to someone, and he says, well, my stutter, my stutter. So when people claim it as their own, you claim it as your own, it's yours, it's my stutter, I'm a stutterer, then this too limits what you do. It limits what you're capable of doing, in a sense, what you're capable of doing as long as you retain this mindset. When you create the confident speaker's mindset, even when and if you have this fluencies, you will respond and react much differently. You'll recover much quicker. It won't have a lasting effect on you. You'll still be confident. You'll still be able to say the things that you want, despite having the occasional disfluency. It will also improve your competence. That is, you will improve the way that you speak. This will improve your confidence, which will cause you to feel better, to say that you know that you can handle yourself in any speaking situation. And when that happens, you will find that you'll be speaking better. So it's a competence-confidence cycle, or confidence-competence cycle. So, second deadly stuttering mindset is identifying yourself as a stutterer. Let's now look at the third one, which is comparing ourselves with others. And this is something that many people do, whether they stutter or not. In fact, many of these mindsets you can apply to other areas of your life as well. We just happen to be talking about speech and stuttering. So this third one has to do with comparing ourselves with others. When we compare ourselves with others, it might sound something like, man, how is it, or why is it that that person's able to speak so smoothly and so fluently and I'm not? Why do I have to struggle with my speech so much, to just order coffee, to order food, to introduce myself, to say the name of my company or the name of my school? Why do I have to struggle? Why is it that I can't tell jokes, or why can't I jump in a social situation if there's a group of people? Why do I have to have such a hard time and they don't? Okay, so this can be quite normal, but it can be quite frustrating as well when you compare yourself with others. It just doesn't feel good. So what I want to challenge you to do is to look at this challenge that you have, stuttering, stammering, speaking too fast, whatever it might be. Look at it like a gift. I want you to look at it like a gift. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, Michael, why in the world would I want to look at stuttering or stammering or whatever it is as a gift? How can I look at it as a gift? And here's why I want you to look at it as a gift. I want you to look at it as a gift that needs to be unpacked and unwrapped. As a gift that needs to be unpacked and unwrapped. So you're shifting your thinking from comparing yourselves with others to the confident speaker's mindset, where you're actually looking at what you have as an opportunity, right? As an opportunity. So how do we do this? Well, when you unpack this gift, what happens is, instead of carrying it around or dragging it around and it weighing you down and slowing you down, dragging it, you say, man, I got this stuttering thing, it's just slowing me down, and you can't go this way, you can't go that way because you're dragging it. What you do is you stop, you turn around and you look at it and you go, hey, wait a minute, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity. Let me open up. It's an opportunity to do what? To first, develop empathy. You're going to have a greater capacity to be empathetic because of what you've gone through, the limitations that you had, how you felt. Other people are struggling with either the same thing or something similar in some other area of your life. You're going to be a more empathetic person. It's going to develop your character, right? And a part of your character is empathy. So you're going to be more empathetic. So you say, okay, well, that's great, but so what? Well, you're also going to build rock solid confidence, self-confidence. Because as you develop your speech to excellent levels, you're going to build your confidence in your ability to handle all kinds of trials and all kinds of adversity and all kinds of difficulties. Because if you can go from a person who struggled with their speech to being an excellent speaker, well, there's nothing that can stop you. There are people who see this as a disease. They see this as a permanent disability, when in fact, it's not. It's something that you can change. Now, it doesn't mean that neurologically, whatever is there that's causing the person to stutter, it doesn't mean that all this magically disappears. What it does mean is that our brains are plastic and our brains are able to rewire itself so that you can create a brand new, smoother, more powerful way of speaking despite having stuttered for your entire life. I've done it. So many people out there in the world have done it, and you can do it too. So what you want to do is stop. You look at this thing as an opportunity to become more empathetic, which helps you in your leadership and your interactions with others, right? You use this as an opportunity to build self-confidence, rock solid self-confidence, that you can handle yourself in any situation that you can. If there's something that you want to do, if there's a goal that you want to go after, you can achieve it because you've been able to transform your speech. You also, number 3, look at this as an opportunity to become an amazing speaker, right? And here's why. The same speaking skills that you'll learn in Pro 90D are the same skills that amazing speakers use, the same skills that excellent speakers use. And I'll just give you a couple of examples. People who are great at speaking, excellent at speaking, you'll notice that they have great voice modulation, great inflections. You're not going to find many great speakers who are monotone, right? Because one of the definitions of being a great speaker is probably someone who can hold an audience's attention. And a part of doing that is being able to inflect, to modulate your voice. Another part of being an excellent speaker is body language, right? Eye contact, hand gestures. Right now, I've got to stay within this range, but if I'm in an audience, I'm going to be moving around, moving into the audience. So body language, your posture, right? Your posture. All of these are things that great speakers use. Articulation. Are you articulating clearly? Can people understand you? Can they hear you? So these are just some examples of skills that are learnable. Doesn't matter if you stutter, stammer or not. These are things you can learn to do. These are all examples of skills that if you think about it, if you perceive it that way, if you change your perception, you'll see that this is an opportunity for you to become one of the better speakers around. Here's a most recent example of a client who I've been working with for several months. She's probably never done a presentation. She said maybe she did some or one in grade school, right? Some 25 years ago or something like that. And she recently did a Toastmasters and won a few awards. People said, you know what, you should have gotten number one, right? You should have been the winner, number one. Because it was so, people were saying, I've never heard a speech like that before. One of the best speeches I've ever heard. And I can tell you that she's an amazing speaker now, but when we first met, she would have never imagined that she could have done that. Now, she's just one person. I've had hundreds of people go in, win Toastmasters competition. So someone says, well, okay, so what, anyone can do that. Well, they've gone into their jobs, they've gotten better jobs, people have given them more responsibility because of their speech. They've been on TV, they've been on radio. So it's not just one person. That's a recent example of someone who went from never giving presentations to being one of the best speakers in the entire Toastmasters chapter, right, for that particular time. So this is very real. This can happen to you, but you have to look at this like an opportunity. So you stop, you take a look, and you unpack it, and you say, wow, this is an opportunity. And then you unwrap it. Now, what's the unwrapping process look like? That's just simply you going through the process of changing your mindset and working on your speech, right? That's the unwrapping. So as you unwrap it, you actually start to see your mindset shift. You become more confident, the confident speaker's mindset, and you find yourself speaking smoother, right? So this is also a part of the confident speaker's mindset. Hey there, my name is Michael Williams, Pro90D founder and smooth speech coach. Are you tired of struggling with your speech? Ready to transform your life and boost your confidence? Then it's time for you to enroll in my Pro90D private laser-focused coaching program.
I can only say is thanks. I'm due to Pro90D and Michael and the support and how he's just changed my life and my speech.
I honestly think that if not for the laser-focused coaching with Michael, I wouldn't be where I am right now. It's just impossible.
Don't let speech struggles hold you back. Book your call or enroll today. Let's take the first step towards a smoother, more confident you. Let's do it together. Book your call or enroll today.